culture is the same. And remember, BVC, we celebrate Black history every day. So let's go ahead. There's so much to see, and we're going to get started right now. What you have before you is the wonderful King costume party here at the Infernals Mass Camp. We're looking forward to speaking to one of the founding members, David Bourne, and I believe we probably can find him here. David, hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
How are you, David? Welcome to Caribbean Body Talk.
Thank you. Love to have you
everyone
here.
is here working very hard to make this come to life. Tell us a little bit about Infernos.
Well, Infernos came to life last year, May of 1998, when a group of us, about 10 of us, got together who had been in Carnival and other troops or just had been participants, formed the new troupe. We tried to build it slowly, putting pieces together to make it a good troupe. We got people from all varieties, other troops, people who hadn't even been in Carnival before.
Well, tell me, how many members do you have?
We have almost 200 members.
You got a big crowd there.
And this is our first year. we weren't quite sure we were going to have that many. We thought, oh, well, maybe we'd hit 100, 150. But it has been a tremendous outpouring. And they're all varieties of people. What
do you think is the appeal that you've exceeded your own personal expectations?
I think it's the fact that we have a new concept, we have a new feeling, it's a new dynamic, and a new concept for the costumes, where the costumes are based on a Brazilian concept as opposed to usually the Trinidadian theme, and I think that has attracted a lot of people.
As far as the costumes being constructed, you're still currently working feverishly on this.
Yeah, this is Wednesday night, parade is Saturday morning, and I'm sure Friday night we'll still be finishing costumes here. It takes a lot of detail work. Even after the main body, the costume is finished, then the detailing has to go on, and that almost goes on to the last minute.
Right.
Some of the sequins, the feathering goes right up until you've got that perfect costume, or almost perfect, as we would put it. And the troupe is divided into 3 grades of costume. We have the king and the queen, which are the large costumes.
Right.
Then there are the intermediate characters. There are, I think, 7 of those characters. And then there are the individual troupe.
So as the characters come out, they will lead off the group?
Yeah, there are 9 sections to the troupe. There is a character for almost each section, and that character will lead off the section as it comes down the street. Each section is a different color and a different variety of materials.
Right.
So you'll be seeing different blacks of color and type of costume.
The materials to make the costume, where did the material come from?
All over the place. A lot from New York, some from Trinidad, some purchased here, and it's almost daily process of knowing what you have to reorder, getting it in quick. Lots of express mail.
Is there one particular technique of, say, because there are different mass camps, and say they all need a particular item, that depending on one's connections, someone can get you feathers where they told you no, but someone else can make the same phone call and get those feathers?
Sometimes that happens. Oh yeah. and a lot of sharing goes on too. If say we run out of
red, I have yellow. You want some green?
And I've run out of gold feathers, and you've got gold. You may
the barter system.
Yeah, or we can borrow a couple from you. So yes, it's a lot of competition, but one of the things that we've really tried to promote in our members is that it's a friendly competition. We strive to be the best in terms of what we produce ourselves.
Okay.
And then we go out and we compete against the other troops. But it's a friendly thing. If we win, wonderful. The fact is that we want to feel that we produced a good product, and whether we win or we lose, we've had fun doing it.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time out. We're going to speak with you some more because you have some beautiful sketches here which show the detailing that actually actually comes to life, the king and the queen costumes. But before, could you tell me this massive piece of metal
this
here?
piece of wire is the basis for the Baiana costume, which is the first section.
Okay.
And from this frame, you're going to eventually see a complete full costume that's a full dress effect.
And someone will get
in that frame
and
work that costume to death. That's right. And we have some good people that I tell you, some of these people really know how to work a costume.
Okay. When we're going to take a little break, but when we come back, we're going to get more into the detailing as far as the history of Carnival, the mass camp, so that those who maybe don't know anything about it, by the time this program is over,
they'll know about mass camp. Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, but we're going to be right back. Remember, BBC celebrates Black History every day, and today we're celebrating in St. Thomas. It's Carnival time. We're at a mass camp, so don't go away, because I'm sure before we finish, you're going to learn something new. We'll be right back. Welcome back. As we're here observing the wonderful detailing of the sketches, this is the artwork that starts the whole design off. David, tell us a little bit about how much time goes into perfecting these sketches. Now, I see before us is the one on the bottom is the king's costume.
This is the first stage that the designer goes through. Our designer is Godfrey Marchand from Trinidad. And what he does is he takes his concept of what he wants for the troupe and puts it into these particular...
Okay.
And then next to that is our first section of the Baiana costume, that frame that you saw that you couldn't believe. Below that is the model for the float costume.
Float is a top secret project.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, people are going to, I think, really like it when it comes up the street. And then next to that is the section.
Would say in that particular section.
I believe in that section there are 23.
Okay.
Then next to that is the orchid section, the purple. Again introduced by the character costume and the individual. Next to that is the poster on the bottom is the Inferno section, which represents the forest fire.
Right, and that'll be very...
and that's a very popular section. Okay. It's a vivid color. Then next is the warrior, the aim section, and that is the blue and silver design. Then there are two sun sections, because after you have the rain, you have to enliven the forest with sunlight. And we have sunlight and sunquest, which are the two characters involved. Then I don't know if Lloyd is getting this, but next to that one on the wall is our male section, the warrior protectors of the forest. After we restore the forest, we have to protect it for these generations to come.
What determines the concept of doing your troop in dedication of preserving the rainforest?
Well, each year the troop selects a different theme based upon the overall theme of Carnival. This year's theme for Carnival in general is going back in time in '99. Now, the troop theme, our troop theme, is saving time and beauty in the Amazon rainforest. We just decided to, on the Brazilian concept, to go with that thought. And next year we'll have something different.
Well, I'm sure based upon the fact that you have 200 people who want to participate, that you have a lot of people who think the same way.
And each troop comes up with their own theme. I don't know exactly what the other troops are doing, but everybody comes up with something that hopefully relates to the overall concept, the overall theme for Carnival.
So tell me, if someone wanted to join a mass camp and they just strolled in, for say something caught their eye or whatever, and they walked in and they say, listen, I want to be a part of this, what would you tell them they have to do to go about that?
Well, we like people to come help, and we try to get people that, try to train them in the process of putting the costumes together. We don't like people just walking in and roaming through mass camp, obviously, but people that want to help, we have encouraged to come help It's a tedious, very long process. Some nights they don't go home until 10 o'clock the next morning, and then come back again at 5 o'clock to start over. So it's a very detailed process, but people that have interest in doing it, all talents are welcome.
And speaking of talent, we have to take time to thank a gentleman that helped us here with a little technical problem.
Yes. And Purple Lemming, and they are reapplying the detail.
Okay.
And the detail that they are actually they're taking off one part and applying to another. This is the skirt that's in front over here. You can see the detail on the front. This is the skirt that will come around the waist of the costume.
I see that these costumes are very much individualized for the person.
That's correct.
You have to measure them.
You have to measure them and then fix them according to that person.
So up until the last moment, I guess we'll still be saying well.
Yeah, until that, the person has tried it on and checked it. It's not
right, and then you have to make adjustments yourself.
Right. And
I see this looks like part of the ribbon costume that's before us.
First costume we have in the corner. This is the headpiece for the ribbon section. So you'll see what you saw on the board. Now this is the real life part of it.
Where did you get the feathers from?
Those are all imported from New York, from our supplier in New York.
Because I would imagine that certain costumes cost more than others because of the materials.
Because of the materials, yes.
And where you have to go to get them.
Right. Some costumes have a lot more feathers than others, as you'll see. The combination is the ostrich plume, the pheasant feathers are the long ones.
Right.
And some costumes even have some smaller feathers, what we call cockspur, the smaller feathers that are attached. Then,
is there any particular, when a person comes and they say they want to be part of a particular section, is there a particular section that you need more women, more men, younger people, or is it whatever they desire, they feel free to take part in?
Most of the sections, there's only one section men. All the other sections are women. And they get to choose which section they want to be in. They choose based upon the costume concept or the cost or what they feel comfortable in portraying. For most people, they have been in mass camp, they have helped with some part of the production of that costume. So when they come up the road, the costume you're wearing and I'm wearing may each be worked on by one of us.
Welcome back to BBC TV's Caribbean Body Talk. Our roving camera has us here at the Inferno's Mass Camp in St. Thomas, and I'm now joined by Lynette Akins-Harley, who's been taking in the site. We're now in the exclusive feathering room of Inferno's. So what's your impressions here?
Well, I have to say it's very massive. I've never been in a mass camp before. This is my very first time, and we have a really great array of feathers here. I mean, they're all colored. So I could imagine the spectacular costumes that Inferno's will display on Saturday in the Carnival Parade.
Well, David is still here with us. David Bourne, come in. You've been giving us such a wonderful
You came into our front entrance room where we produced the major costume, and now this is where the nitty-gritty of the feathering and the detailing, the additional detailing is done. And you can see it's a wash of color because you're now seeing the masses of the colors of the different headdresses that are going to come up the street. And you know that soft feel, but then still that brilliant color of the different.
It's like a kaleidoscope.
And when you see them in masses, it's going to be a powerful.
Imagine these coming up in sections and waves in the street, and as you can see, the
colors are going to definitely elicit emotion from everyone.
Well, we hope to bring that out in everybody along the street.
Tell us about some of the detailing. Is there a reason that you do this part aside, off to the side as opposed to in the main area?
The feathers need a lot of room to be laid out, and you actually have to figure if the feathers bend to the left, bend to the right, are they straight up, and and then you have to separate them into the types of headdress. Some of them require left-hand feathers, some require left and right. And so after they're sorted out, then they're applied to the different, the basic headdress. And as you can see with some of these headdresses on the table here, they put them together, and then the final step is the feathering. And actually there's one more step, and that is the foam that goes into the hat to make it comfortable.
Are there any special kind of feathers that you use in particular?
What we've used a lot of is the ostrich plumes and the pheasant feathers. Those are the long feathers. And there are also some smaller ones that they're called the cockspur with some of the costume. But most of this fluff that you see is ostrich plumes. And they come in every color, every variety. They actually dye these to the color that we want. I don't know what the natural color is, but these are dyed to the particular color that we want. And they give the bulk. It gives you the feel of an abundance of people, probably more so than they're in the actual section.
And David, I've seen feathers in carnival parades already, and it's amazing when you really look at them coming up the street. You cannot see the people, but you can see the feathers rising above, and it looks so beautiful.
You see the feathers coming before you see the people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And of course, the highlight of the parade is the presentation in the post office square, where all the troops perform. They give a little routine to present what their theme is.
And I'm sure you have a routine planned.
We have a routine. You'll see it Saturday.
Where have you been practicing?
Out in the front yard, just in back of the mass camp.
Okay, we're going to take a little stroll here and see okay.
The feathers really come in brilliant colors and different colors.
We have some people hiding behind their feathers.
They won't be hiding on Saturday. They'll be full of the feathers. But now this
headdress here, this very large.
Right. This is another part of the king costume and the queen costume. The part that you saw in the front as you came in, that part is just the main body. Added to that are the wings, the tail, the breastplate, which these pieces form. And surprisingly, as big as they look, they're very light.
I was going to comment, it looks like it must weigh many, many pounds.
It looks heavy, but these people have to be able to carry these costumes the whole parade route. So they're made very particularly to be light.
So there's a lot of really engineering that goes into this costume.
Yeah. First there's a frame that's made of aluminum and fiberglass tubing. And then over that is put the cloth, whether it's, in this case, it's the gold lame, and then it's papered to the sections where the feathers are going to be applied. We don't use any heavy material. And then over that you put the braids, the feathers, the final detailing. So it's, when you're finished, you have to be able to move around in the costume easily. And I know Lynette was at the King and the Queen competition night, and I know that she saw that our King and Queen can work a costume.
Really work that costume. They really put on a great performance. And there's one thing I was really curious about. When they perform in the costumes initially for the Queen and King of the band, do they lose some feathers and would you have to come back and like do a little touch up on the costumes?
No, actually our costumes came through really well. They were built so strong that they just didn't lose a thing. So we did pretty well. We made some adjustments, made some actually additions for daylight because the competition was at the night. But we did a few minor adjustments to make them a little bit more spectacular for daylight.
And they were beautiful, I must say, they really were.
Well, I know
those crowns.
Well, I know that we've been here, we've experienced this mass camp. allow anyone to just stroll through your mass camp. So
Right.
we are honored that you've given us that opportunity to see this and to bring this to our viewers who can appreciate Carnival just a little bit more now.
Well, we have enjoyed having you. We look forward to having you with us also on the street on Saturday when you see this whole thing put together. It'll be a lot different because these costumes are not going to be on people on Saturday, and you'll see the whole thing laid out in the street.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I'm Christina Perry, Community News Reporter for BBC Caribbean Body Talk, and I am currently being joined by Her Highness, the Queen of the Infernals Band, Cheryl Herman. Welcome to Caribbean Body Talk.
Well, it's a privilege to be on Caribbean Body Talk.
I understand that you are going to represent the Queen of the band.
Yes, I am.
And I understand that you had to win that position.
Yes.
Tell us what goes into one being picked to be a queen.
Okay, it consists of getting out there to compete among others, not just the beautifulness of your costume, but the way you master it in dancing it. That's what counts a lot. That's your most point, 100 points for that. And I guess I did the best because everyone told me I danced mine the best, so I came out the winner. Because it was just not only dancing, but my costume was beautiful too.
Okay, so it's a matter of movement as well as the
movement, performance, the impression that you give to the judges. And when I go on stage, I tune out the crowd. It's just me, the judges, on the stage.
Okay, well tell me, I also know that you are truly helping out here. I see you measuring people all night long and you're working on construction. I know you have to get back to it.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Okay, I'm the vice president of this organization.
Okay.
And everybody looks forward to me to do stuff for them. So I do the measurements, I do the headpieces, I work on a lot of the stuff you see. I give instruct the workers to do the patterns and stuff in order to get the costume looking as beautiful as we have them here. So we have a lot of work.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your work. I want to thank you so much, Cheryl, for joining us.
Okay.
And congratulations, and we'll be looking for you on Saturday.
Thank you, and I hope next year, this time, so you all will come and join us and get a break from TV commercial.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was Cheryl Harmon, Queen of the band, and we're now going to continue on to find ourselves with We're now here with the king of the band of Infernos. Your name?
Daryl Donovan Sr.
Well, tell me, Daryl, a little bit about how you came about being king. Were you in a competition also?
I was in a competition and there was 4 of us. There was 2 newly troops, which is one is Infernos, one is Just Action, and the other one is Elspeth Associates and Hagabunch.
Okay, and tell us a little about your particular costume.
So my costume is portraying the sun god, protecting the rainforest of all evil. I'm the big bad bully of the rainforest. And you can see we all glitter up the gold, representing gold for God and the sun and so forth.
Well, I know that you have a lot of work to do and you have to get back. I want to thank you for taking time out, and we'll be looking for you Saturday.
Definitely, look for me.
That was the king of the band, and we're going to be back with more, so don't go away.
Thank you for coming. We really enjoyed having you.
I know we're going to have a good time on Saturday.
Most definitely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be in the parade in two troops. So you are going to be handling everything, Christina. And I know you will have a lot of fun.
I'm going to chase you down and find you.
I'll come over to you.
Feathers and all.
Everything.
Okay. Well, at this time, we're going to close this segment of Mass Camp Hopping here in St. Thomas. And as I said, I want to thank Caribbean Life for being exclusive sponsors of this segment, bringing you your culture a little bit closer to you in a little more detail. Mass Camp Hopping in St. Thomas. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with this message. Surround yourself with a few good people.
Share love and respect for each other and knowledge.
It will make a difference. I'm Christina Perry.
And I'm Leonard Akins-Harley.
Thanking you for watching Caribbean Body Talk. Bye-bye.
And we'll see you next time.
When I'm not working, when I'm not playing, when be